Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. A double-edged sword is a great description of the season because I came in not thinking that I was going to have that much playing time, and that it was going to be a learning season from the bench, and I got to learn a ton on the field. But it's disappointing that we didn't make the playoffs, and that was what the season was about, is making playoffs. It was a bummer.
How much do you think the loss of confidence for a decent part of the season hurt the team and the steadiness of that back line?
Yeah, I mean, when you have a player like Stevie, who's been in the squad all year and he just gets taken out, I think there were games where me and Daniil did well, Columbus and Montreal, but it was just a long period of time where we struggled. And I think he has a commanding presence back there that really helps organize the group, and it's something that I hope to learn and to pick up and improve upon next year.
We recently learned that Daniil was sold to a club in Cyprus. What's your future looking like? I mean, do you plan to stay in Toronto and in MLS?
Absolutely. I mean, I want to be a part of this club. I want to be a part of the rise of Toronto FC, and I hope I'm here.
Joe, when you look back at the season, because I think there's a lot of expectation that this team will at least make the playoffs. So when you look back at the season, can you put your finger on some of the reasons why the team didn't make the postseason?
I think the big ones are just in times in the games when we needed to make a play or a save or needed to have a goal, it just didn't happen. I mean, you can go through and say, this player, that player, or a coaching change or anything like that, but that's stuff that's going to happen over the course of the year, every single year. I think it was just the fact that we couldn't make those game-changing plays consistently.
Joe, how did you find you learned a lot this season with what you kind of went through after winning the job last year, coming in, at some point thinking you have a starting job, bringing in Julio, and you have to take a back seat. What did you learn from that, or did you grow from that? What was that situation like for you?
Yeah, it was interesting, and it was obviously my first time, going through something like that. But I have a good support group and a lot of good teammates, and just go to work and work every day, and it ended up, paying off.
This is for both of you guys. I'll ask some of the other players this too, but sometimes when there's a disappointing season, there's a temptation on management to blow the roster up and get in a bunch of new faces. Would that be a bad idea in your opinions? How many players away from being consistent postseason contender do you think the team is?
Well, I'll say it's kind of yes and no, but this club has had too many players in and out to begin with. So you could say that no, you need to keep all the players, but obviously throughout the year we've kind of shown that maybe we need a couple more weapons, or just a little bit more depth. So that's definitely something that I think we need to add to our team, and we will.
Yeah, I agree with what Joe says. I don't think blowing up the roster is a good idea. Obviously, people have been talking about consistency in teams, the RSLs, LAs, guys that have the same roster year in, year out, and their consistency. But I think we lack a little bit of ownership of people that own the Toronto FC club. People come in, or rookies come in, or new coaches, and it's not someone that owns the team as a whole. And I think someone that has urgency. We're called in people are traded in to make an immediate impact. And I think as a group, we need to own this club as for us. And I think that starts with consistency and keeping the same people around.
Joe, part of your job is not dwelling on mistakes. This season has kind of been a glass half full, half empty. You made strides, but you didn't quite get it done, and you came pretty close. Is it going to be hard to is the season going to stick with you a little bit?
Yeah, it definitely will, just because the last half of our season was fairly poor, and we were right there, and it really looked like we were bound for the playoffs, and we just let it slip for us, which is always really disappointing. But yeah, you have to learn what you can from it, and take it into the next year.
Joe, the CBA is going to be done. It's expired this season. As the player, what can you kind of speak to make about some of the issues or some negotiations with the players?
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. We would like more money, and we would like some kind of free agency. I think those are the only two things that really hold any weight. The facilities and the stadiums are incredible here. They're some of the best in the world. So just those two things are fairly difficult to argue with the league, I think.
Some of your teammates have a hard time living in this city on their salaries.
I mean, most guys live within their means, but I know what it's like to live on that salary, and yeah, I struggle a little bit with it, and I'm sure Nick here as well does. He's gonna get married, so it's a lot. It's a lot to take on with such a small salary.
I mean, those are two pretty big issues. What do you suspect the chances are that there might be a work stoppage?
I have no clue, because it's I couldn't really tell you. It'll come down into preseason next year, and hopefully we can work out a deal with the league, and the league can also understand where we're coming from, and hopefully there is not a work stoppage though.
Nick, what's it like for you living? You're doing what you love to do, but you're not getting paid a lot of money to do it. You're living on a tight budget.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're living within your means. But it's tough being in a city like Toronto where everything is expensive, for sure. But Toronto FC does a great job of helping me out and compensating me in ways. But yeah, you have to. Sometimes you got to take food from the training facility home with you. You don't buy clothes all the time. Like, just stay within your means. Make sure you budget. If you're smart with your money, you can do it. But it's definitely hard to live the lifestyle of someone that's making $100,000 more than you, and you're trying to hang out with them, and you got to go home early.
What about $6 billion?
$6 billion? Yeah, it's a lot. I can hang
Then
though.
he just takes care of you.
True.
When a new coach comes in, obviously there's a period of adaptation. For you, Joe, you also got a new goalkeeping coach. I'm wondering if you could maybe tell us a little bit about that process, how it is working with a new goalkeeper coach.
Yeah, that's it's a difficult one, especially with how close I was with Stuart. But at the same time, I have my same training that I do every day, and I just kind of pulled John and I said, this is what I like to do before games or the day before a game. I said the rest of the week is yours, because the thing with new goalkeeper coaches, new coaches, new anything kind of new is you'll always learn at least one thing. And I said to Q that I've had 11 different goalkeeper coaches since I was 13 years old, and I've learned something from every single one of them. And even as a professional, I've had 4 different goalkeeper coaches, and I've learned something from every one of them. So you just have to look at the positive side of it and take whatever it is you get. How is John as a goalkeeper coach? Nick's terrible, but
Save it.
John's he's also, this is his first professional goalkeeping as a goalkeeper coach, and he was very he's very understanding, and he has, you know, obviously different trainings than Stuart does, but at the same time, it's, you know, it's something that I need as well, the difference in training. So, yeah, John was good for the last, you know, since Greg took over.
Looking back now, it's your rookie season. Despite the results and the things that have happened this season, how would you look back at at your rookie season?
I think it's a journey of growth. A roller coaster season had ups, I had downs, but ultimately I learned a lot, and I'm excited for the sophomore jump to, usually people call it the sophomore slump, but I'm usually, when I get a second chance, I gain more confidence in that I have an opportunity to grow and play more.